Florida judge dismisses Trump's complaint involving sensitive documents in a significant win for the former president. A Florida judge has rejected the U.S. Justice Department's case involving materials against him, mere days after an assassination attempt. The U.S. Appointments clause was violated by the Justice Department's nomination of Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, according to Judge Aileen Cannon, who approved Trump's move to dismiss the federal case. In the case, Trump entered not multiple counts related to his handling of secret documents, including the willful retention of information related to national defense. Following Trump's departure from the White House in 2021, dozens of secret files were discovered in various locations throughout his Florida resort at Mar-a-Lago, including a shower. In her 93-page order, Judge Cannon stated, "The court is convinced that special counsel's execution of this action breaches two structural cornerstones of our constitutional scheme: the role of Congress in the appointment of constitutional officers and the role of Congress in authorizing expenditures by law. The former president was charged with many felonies for allegedly mishandling confidential material. The 37-count charged Trump with lying to investigators and maintaining fellas at his Florida home. Then it was said he attempted to impede the examination of how the records were handled. Walt Nauta, his assistant, and Carlos de Oliveira, former worker, were also accused with him. Both had entered not guilty pleas. Mr. Smith was assigned to supervise two federal investigations of the former president by Attorney General Merrick Garland. In her decision, Judge Cannon stated that this case, and not another one supervised by Mr. Smith on purported attempts to rig the 2020 election, is subject to the ruling. Attorneys for the former president did not file a comparable motion to dismiss the case. The federal classified documents trial was just postponed indefinitely by the Trump-appointed judge, who said there were serious concerns about the trial evidence. The merits and demerits of Mr. Smith's two federal criminal cases have been discussed by legal experts. Judge Cannon intervened on Monday. The particulars were irrelevant. She maintained that the U.S. Constitution is violated by the special counsel's very existence, as well as by the ways in which they are chosen and supported. The decision made by Judge Cannon differs from the decisions made by judges in other U.S. courts that have heard cases involving these specially appointed judges. It is based on views put out by similar conservative legal scholars, most notably Clarence Thomas of the Supreme Court in the recently decided case of presidential immunity. In that decision, the Supreme Court ruled that criminal punishment for official acts is not applicable to former presidents, including Trump. 3 times in her conclusion, Judge Cannon referenced a concurring opinion written by Justice Thomas in the case, in which he questioned the legality of appointing special counsel. A former federal prosecutor described Judge Cannon's decision as stunning, to put it mildly, to the BBC on Monday. Judge Cannon said her decision applied only to this particular case, but Mr. Romani argued it raised questions about the appointment of special counsel in other instances. This includes the case of Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, subject of a special counsel investigation and was found guilty last month of However, one significant distinction is that, in contrast to Mr. Smith, David Weiss, the special counsel in that case, is a U.S. attorney for Delaware who was appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. Mr. Smith may file an appeal of Monday's decision and request that the case be transferred to a different judge. That Judge Cannon's decision will be overturned, but that a longer trial period may help Trump's campaign. Professor David Super of Georgetown University Law Center stated, her ruling has no sustained on appeal as it conflicts with decisions of the Supreme Court and other lower courts, but it will have preventing any more embarrassing revelations before the election.
Regarding Judge Cannon's decision, the special counsel has not yet made any statements in public. In addition, Judge Cannon's ruling coincides with Republicans' convocation in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for the Republican National Convention, where Trump is expected to accept presidential nomination. November is election day in the U.S.
The dismissal of the case should be just the first step, followed quickly by the dismissal of all the witch hunts, according to a statement made by Trump on his social media site on Monday. Let us come together to end all weaponization of our justice system and make America great again. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, called the removal a breathtakingly misguided ruling, despite the fact that many Republican members applauded the decision. In a New York hush money lawsuit, Trump was convicted guilty in May of fabricating business documents. September is when he is supposed to be sentenced. In the 2020 election case, he has also been charged on 4 felony counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and conspiracy against citizens' rights. In a different lawsuit, Trump and about 18 other defendants are charged with criminal conspiracy to undo his extremely narrow loss in the state of Georgia during the 2020 election. He has refuted any misconduct,